siren.
Sounds scary.
Well, of course it's scary. Someone could be hurt or in trouble. It could be an emergency.
Oh, no!
Emergencies, call for quick action. Emergencies happen in a fraction of time. I'm sure you'll agree that there really are no warnings in emergencies. A fire in the fireplace.
A fire in the furnace.
Are in their proper places.
Oh, of course they will not burn us.
But if by chance a fire starts where it's not meant to be,
then what you got, my friend, is
an emergency. Emergencies, call for quick action. Emergencies happen in a fraction of time. I'm sure you'll agree that there really are no warnings in emergencies. Now if somebody is late and it's causing them to worry and they want to get a move on, so they move on in a hurry. They don't wait for the light. They just race across the street if a driver doesn't see them, and suddenly they meet. Emergencies, call for quick action. Emergencies happen in a fraction of time. I'm sure you'll agree that there really are no warnings in emergencies. Emergencies don't have to just be accidents or fires. They can also be
trouble in the water.
Or
a robbery.
But no matter what, they always require quick action. Emergencies, call for quick action. Emergencies happen in a fraction of time. Now, what would you do if somehow, somewhere,
someday,
emergency involves a friend or you?
This is Professor U.B. Schmartz speaking to you from my research center, where I have been studying emergencies. I have determined that emergencies are usually dangerous and scary situations. They happen without warning, and they often cause harm. Emergencies can happen to me, to you, or to someone we know. Now, my research has also shown that you can do more to help yourself or someone else in an emergency if you are prepared or have a plan. If an emergency happens, try to remain calm, very calm. If you feel confused, take a moment to organize your thoughts and then call for help. Around my laboratory, I try to be prepared for all emergencies. I have a fire extinguisher in case a fire should start. I have a first aid kit in case I should get a cut or a scrape. I have a telephone in case someone should try to break in while I'm here, and I can call the police. And if some sneaky thief should try to creep in here when I'm not around, well, I have invented a foolproof thief-catching net. All it takes is to press this button to set the net. Now, if someone walks through my laboratory, it will activate the device. I'm pretty clever, no? Oh, yes. Well, it's time to check on another experiment. Whoa! Help! Swim! Oh, help! Help! I feel so confused. Oh, I'll take a moment to calm down. Oh, I know. I'll call for help. Help! Swim! Help!
Sounds like the professor has gotten himself into a jam again. But if I know the professor, it's probably a difficult situation and not a real emergency. Still, I better go check it out. You see, each situation must be dealt with in its own special way. Your actions and decisions will change depending on where you are, who can help, and just exactly what the situation is. Coming, Professor!
What do I do if I see somebody in trouble in the water?
If you do see somebody who is in the water and is in danger, find the nearest lifeguard or an adult. We will help them out of the water.
What would I do if I saw someone breaking the law?
If you see a crime in progress, call 911 on your operator as quickly as you can. Be sure to stay on the line. We would like to know where the crime is happening and a description of what is happening.
If I see an accident, what should I do?
If you see an accident, call 911 or your operator and stay on the phone. Tell them the location of the accident, the type of accident, and your name, and we'll be there very quickly.
What would I do if I saw a house on fire?
If you see a fire, call 911 or your local operator. Give them the location of the fire. Stay on the telephone because I want to ask you some questions. I want to know your name, your address, and what is on fire. Remember, don't go near the fire.
I got the professor out of his thief-catching net. He's fine and back at work now. And I was right. It was not an emergency. But if he had been seriously hurt with a broken arm or leg, then I would have called an ambulance or taken him to the hospital emergency room.
Have you ever wondered why an ambulance goes racing down the street so fast with his lights and sirens on? Have you ever wondered if he's going to some kind of emergency? The ambulance is like an emergency room on wheels. Inside, we carry all kinds of equipment for all kinds of problems, which will help you in your emergency. If you have an emergency, dial 911 or the operator. In the back of the ambulance, we have things to help you if you're burned, if you're in a car accident, if you swallow poisons, if you're feeling sick or ill. Don't be surprised if a fire truck comes to your emergency where you may be sick, if you've fallen off a swing set and broken a bone, or not feeling well at home. They are trained in first aid as well as the paramedics and can help you in your emergency situations.
Suppose you're on the playground and broke your arm. Someone would dial 911 or the operator, and we would come to you and put on the air splint, which we will show you. The air splint immobilizes the fracture. It's similar to a temporary cast. You slide it on a person's arm, and you inflate it with your mouth with air. Then next you squeeze the fingers, make sure the cast isn't too tight, that it cuts off the circulation. And then you transport it to the hospital.
Slim! Slim! Where are you, Slim?
I'm right here, Pillow. What's the matter?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I was lonely and frightened. I thought I heard some strange noises outside, like someone trying to break in. Where were you?
I was helping Professor Schmart.
Well, I'm glad you're back. I feel better now. I guess I was just being silly. I was waiting here all alone.
By yourself? On your own?
When I started to feel scared, I'm not sure why. The very next minute I started to cry. Our home sweet home didn't seem the same. It got all dark and strange. I called and called and called your name. It made me scared to feel the change.
I'm sorry for your pain, dear friend. I am really sorry for your fear. Let me hold you nice and close. Relax, calm down. I am here. I understand your feelings, 'cause I felt the same way too.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
What happened, Slim, to you?
Well, I remember when I was younger, I came home to an empty house.
Uh-huh.
My parents had gone out visiting.
Uh-huh.
And they had left me a key and something to eat.
Good.
Well, I came in, turned on the lights and the radio, and made a sandwich and started eating. And then I heard some strange noises.
Uh-oh.
The windows and the doors were locked, but I was getting nervous. My imagination was getting the better of me.
I know what you mean.
I know it may sound silly, but I got into bed and pulled the covers over my head.
That doesn't sound silly.
And then the phone rang.
Who was it?
It was Grandma. She was calling to find out how I was doing.
Good.
I told her about the strange noises.
Uh-oh.
She said not to worry, it was the wind blowing the trees against the house. Then she gave me her number and told me to call her back if I got scared again. Boy, I felt much better after that. You know, Pillow, everybody needs someone on whom they can depend. A person they can talk with like a neighbor, family, or a friend.
You're my friend.
I'm your friend. Oh.
Troopers, here's General Health, commander of the International Health Brigade.
Troopers, when emergencies happen, it's important to know what to do. And so I want you to make my emergency action plan a habit. There are 3 main points. Number 1, stay calm when an emergency happens.
Yes, sir. Stay calm.
Number 2, collect the facts. What, where, when, and who.
Yes, sir. The facts.
Number 3, call for help.
Yes, sir. Call for help.
There are 3 telephone numbers you ought to have handy. Your home number, the number of a relative or friend, and the number of the police, either 911 or 0 for operator. Remember, troops, be prepared. Dismissed.
That was good advice from the General. Keeping a cool head and knowing whom to call for help are good ways to face an emergency. And if you ever do have to call for help, be sure you know your own address, the name of your street, and the number of your house or apartment.
Emergencies, call for quick action. Emergencies happen in a fraction of time. I'm sure you'll agree that there really are no warnings in emergencies.
What, where, when, and who.
Emergencies, call for quick action. Emergencies happen in a fraction, but now you know just what to do. If somewhere, somehow, some way, someday, emergencies happen to a friend or you.